When you think about peanut butter, you probably envision creamy ground peanuts being scooped up from a jar using a knife or spoon. And if you're anything like me, then you're probably spreading that peanut butter onto a piece of bread to make a sandwich. But several inventors had a different idea. Why not cut out the jar and the knife and just have the peanut butter ready in pre-spread slices to put into a sandwich? And so the concept of sliced peanut butter has been tried again and again over the past 50 years with little success. So was sliced peanut butter an idea introduced before its time? Or was it simply lazy? This is the strange history of sliced peanut butter, the convenience product that never quite caught on. And the topic of peanut butter was suggested by viewer John, so thank you, John. Now let's get into the story.
Peanut butter has a long history dating back to the Inca Empire. In the US, peanut butter's introduction is most often attributed to the medical profession, used by doctors and sanitariums as a nutritious, easy to chew and digest health food. By the late 1890s, peanut butter was being quickly adopted by consumers in larger cities. As Charles B. Fancer noted in 1899, peanut butter is not a fad, but is rapidly becoming an important commercial product. And peanut butter found its way into sweets, soups, salads, and sandwiches. Peanut butter's popularity increased in the 1910s as an inexpensive and meatless, but filling dinner as Americans conserved wheat, meat, sugar, and fats during World War I. And by the late 1960s, peanut butter could be found in 80% of US homes, and Americans were eating 800 million pounds of peanut butter every year.
Now, it wasn't long before companies began coming up with new ideas for different types of peanut butter, some of which were more successful than others. And among these new ideas was a controversial concept: sliced peanut butter.
Some of the earliest references to sliced peanut butter date back to the 1970s. It's during this decade that a patent was filed by James Ayer, Jeffrey Peterson, and John Palmer of Georgia-based Gold Kist Inc. for a method of making peanut butter in sliced form. Ayers, Peterson, and Palmer's invention called for peanut butter to be mixed with some kind of hardening stabilizer so that it could be cut into slices, separated by some kind of packaging material, and stored in a refrigerator or freezer. When ready to use, each slice could be separated individually without sticking to its packaging. Now, Gold Kist Inc. was a major farmer cooperative marketing poultry, eggs, livestock, grains, soybeans, pecans, and peanuts for farmers. So it makes sense that employees were looking for new ways to market and sell peanuts.
At almost the same time, a similar idea from advertising and communications company Meinecker and Dangerfield was making headlines. Founded by Warren Meinecker and Phil Dangerfield in 1971, the company specialized in developing new products, including for big names like Abbott Laboratories, Chesapeake Ponds, Thomas J. Lipton, and Swift & Co.
And one of the new products dreamt up by Meinecker and Dangerfield was sliced peanut butter, which would be similar to sliced cheese. It really isn't all that unusual a product. Warren Meinecker told the Chicago Daily News in 1975, "Sliced cheese isn't unusual, neither is sliced bread. This serves the same convenience function." And he had a point. As the Chicago Daily News noted, the question is, if canned tea and aerosol cheese can have their fling at seducing the impulse-buying penchant of the nation, why shouldn't sliced peanut butter get its chance?
For all their efforts, it doesn't seem like Gold Kist or Meinecker and Dangerfield's concept was ever translated into a real product. Meinecker and Dangerfield had hoped to sell their idea to a major company, and though, quote, some had nibbled, they didn't get anyone to actually bite. But the idea of sliced peanut butter didn't die there.
Some 20 years later, sliced peanut butter got another chance. In fact, it got two. The first came from Stuart Kennedy, a marketing specialist at Oklahoma State University, and Daniel Belmer, a food processing engineer, also at Oklahoma State University. When Kennedy suggested sliced peanut butter to Belmer, she told the Daily Oklahoman writer Barbara Palmer, it, quote, took a few minutes to sink in. No more holes in the bread when you spread the peanut butter. Little kids can make their own sandwiches. In a word, convenience.
Belmer and her colleagues at OSU spent almost 2 years working on a sliced peanut butter product. The problem was finding a formula that'd be creamy enough, but wouldn't stick to a cellophane wrapper.
Stuart Kennedy told Fortune magazine, "We got so tired of eating peanut butter, it drove us crazy. We'd have 40 different prototypes and none of them was right." After more than 400 tries and the help of a modified cheese manufacturing machine, their sliced peanut butter was ready to debut in stores under the brand name PB Slices. The original PB Slices were creamy, but Stuart Kennedy already had plans for a crunchy version. What he didn't have plans for was sliced jelly. When asked by Fortune magazine, Kennedy stated, "It's already out there. It's called a fruit roll-up. But the problem is that it doesn't have any moisture, so it doesn't work in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich."
Stuart Kennedy and PB Slices may not have been interested in a sliced jelly product, but somebody else was.
In 1994, Jeff Bogdan, a heating and air conditioner salesman from Illinois, patented a combination nut butter and jelly slice. Bogdan's invention was inspired by watching his 4-year-old son make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. "One day I noticed that there was peanut butter in the jelly jar and jelly in the peanut butter jar. I'm the type who likes wiping the knife before going to the next jar." Bogdan started to experiment in his kitchen, melting peanut butter and pouring it into a square-shaped mold. Once it cooled, he added a mixture of fruit juice, starch, and other ingredients on top. The two-sided slice was then put back in the refrigerator, ready for use in a sandwich.
Bogdan thought he was onto something, but he had no idea how to get his peanut butter and jelly slices into a store. A friend introduced him to former Kraft food salesman John Kodelis. Kodelis took the concept to Wisconsin cheese manufacturer Schreiber Foods, who perfected a process for mass-producing the peanut butter and jelly slices.
In 2001, PJ Squares debuted on select store shelves. Both PJ Squares and PB Slices seemed promising on paper. Other convenience foods like Lunchables and Go-Gurts had done exceptionally well. Echoing the thoughts of the Chicago Daily News from the 1970s, was pre-spread peanut butter that different? Media reporting on PJ Slices and PJ Squares in the 2000s seemed to be split, with some condemning the products as lazy and unnecessary, while others presented them as beneficial for busy families and for kids making their own lunches or snacks. A marketing research firm actually thought PJ Squares could be part of a $165 million market, but instead, neither PJ Squares or PB Slices survived more than a few years. It's not clear why either sliced peanut butter product didn't make it. Both were made and marketed by small companies, who would have faced an uphill battle trying to keep their product on store shelves in supermarkets, where large food corporations definitely have the advantage. And as small companies, PB Slices and PJ Squares would have struggled to fund enough advertising to get the word out about their products beyond the initial slew of media reporting, especially if the target audience was kids and their parents. Currently, there isn't a sliced peanut butter product on the market, but a patent application filed in 2016 suggests that the concept is still alive and well. Could sliced peanut butter be the greatest invention since sliced bread? Its history has suggested probably not. But you never know. Certainly stranger foods have taken hold of the American imagination and appetite. But for now, people seem largely content to spread their peanut butter on bread just using a knife.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look back at the history of sliced peanut butter. If you like this video and you'd like to hear me talk about the history of other ordinary things, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel below. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.